put this stuff in my body.
I put it on my body. I play in it.
I even wash my hair in it.
It better be good.
It's good. It's very good.
The quality of our water is excellent.
Without good quality pure water, you just can't have life in the way that we know it to be.
Water is one of those things that you can't go without.
We will stack this water quality up against any bottled water or any other utilities water in the country.
Why to buy bottled water it is not regulated?
New technology being used across Florida is making the water quality a lot safer.
Water is probably one of the safest things that you take into your home during the day.
A moral obligation to provide the best water quality we can for our customers.
The best thing people can do, I think, is understand that the water is a precious resource, and when they use it that way.
Water, it comes from a faucet. It's always there, right?
You turn on the tap and it's there, but you don't realize where it comes. It's pumped out of the ground and through all kinds of systems, and it comes down through the pipeline.
People really don't realize how important water is until the water is off.
They just get up in the morning and turn the water on and spigot on and expect something to come out of it, and if it's not, they're on the phone.
We've been reusing water for centuries. What we're doing now is we're making sure that that water is safe to reuse.
We run it through our process and we remove all the hardness. We also put in there disinfectant to protect it when we send it out into the distribution system. That way, when they open their tap at their home, they can be sure that the water that they're getting out of it will be safe for their consumption.
It's hard to believe with all the rain we sometimes have, and you look around at all the oceans, that there's a water problem. And it's really not a water problem, it's just the availability of where do we get it in a timely fashion and how we use it.
Florida is this land we call paradise that is down between two big bodies of water, but they're salt water. And in between we've got this Floridian aquifer that supplies most of our water. We've got to protect it, we got to care for it, we don't want to get it polluted, and then it'll be for us for years to come.
I don't think people in this world of ours realize the importance of water and how critical it is. You know, you can't live without it.
You don't want to waste one drop of the water, because when you run out of water, there's none to drink until the next mission comes up that brings you more.
Space is a very harsh environment. There's no water, there's no atmosphere, so you have to take all that up there with you. So consequently, that's the limiting factor to the duration of the mission.
Rivers, lakes, oceans, rain. It sure looks like we have a lot of water.
We're surrounded by water on all three sides. Most people think, wow, you got tons of water. But it's water on three sides that's not consumable.
The rate of growth in the state of Florida over the last 20 years has been so explosive that land that would normally be pristine, that could handle the water, has been paved over with houses, parking lots, and businesses. That water right now is being discharged directly into receiving waters, and that's not good. It's polluted water, and what we have to do is catch it and treat it.
We used to put a lot of water into the ditches that flowed into the intercoastal area. So now with these pumps, we're able to reuse it eventually.
A standard 18-hole golf course will use about 1 million gallons a day of reclaimed water.
You can't visit where there's no water supply source. So it's going to require us to start thinking about our water in a different way.
Well, people live in the Keys, and there's no water there.
Our water supply comes from Biscayne Aquifer, and we've got over 100 miles of pipe to get it down here through the Keys.
This is the main water line coming down. It's a 36-inch pipe, and it's the main water line coming down to the Florida Keys.
The Keys are very unique because there's no lakes. You can't drill down and get water unless you want salt water. And so we have to get our water from the mainland.
To get it to Key West, it's had to run through 3 different booster pump stations. It leaves Florida City at about 250 psi and has to travel entirely down the Florida Keys. The person in Key West won't see that same glass of water that we produce for around 6 days. At the present time, the South Florida Water Management allows us to pump a certain amount out of the Biscayne Aquifer. What they're telling us now is we're going to have to go down to what's called the Floridan Aquifer, which is around 1,000 feet deep. This is a slightly brackish water that takes a different treatment process.
So we as human beings have to find something that can help clean up some of our mess, and membrane and RO is one of the ways of doing that.
Reverse osmosis.
Reverse osmosis is what nature does. We only put pressure behind it to speed up the process.
Each one of those hollow fibers inside of the permeators is finer than a human hair. And there's probably trillions and billions and quadrillions of them in one vessel.
If you have two solutions and you had a membrane in between the two solutions, all of the heavy particles would want to get to the same side with each other because of their attraction. That's what happens in nature.
Groundwater or well water is fed through the feed end of the pressure vessel, and the water is put through under very high pressure. The good water goes through the membrane and is collected through the center tube.
You have pure water on the other end, and it's crystal clear.
It's becoming harder and harder to get great freshwater sources. Membrane treatment is enabling us to go to more polluted sources of water, if you will, with higher TDS, and we're able to remove that with membrane process, which you couldn't do that with conventional lime softening in the past.
Lime softening. What's that?
A lime softening plant works much like Mother Nature.
First of all, we're in a very historic site in the city of Fort Lauderdale. The plant was built in 1926, is still functional. This plant is an old sand filter activated carbon type plant. A lot of the technology we have here is still with us from the 20s. It's a state and national landmark, and the city of Fort Lauderdale is very proud of this plant and the people that work in it.
The mixing basin is where our first two chemicals is introduced into the water, lime and a polymer. They act like a magnet that draws all of the impurities that is in the water out to help soften the water. Our filters are designed that when the water trickles down through the filter, the sand gets just a little bit coarser, and at the bottom of the filter we have very coarse rock. Now when the water leaves this media, it goes into this particular type of towel. This towel leads the water to our 3 million gallon a day clear well, where the water is pumped to the distribution system.
Why are you telling me all this about water?
We want you to consider water as a career.
It's a lifelong career that has potential advancement.
It's an awesome field to go into.
It's a great job. It's a good opportunity to be outside, outdoors, and actually get, make a living.
I'm not stuck in any cubicle in an office looking at the same computer screen for 8 hours a day.
This is a great industry to be in. I mean, you work outside most of the time, or you work inside with computers. It's like, it's wonderful.
There's a lot of job security in this. There's a lot of places to move up, a lot of positions that are available.
I've been through, fast food places, dead-end jobs, and this one, it wasn't just a job, it was a career. Great retirement, 401k plan, dental, vision. It's just a great job, great pay.
If you dedicate yourself to a career, you should be happy in doing it. And I'm happy in what I do.
I've worked in retail. I am working now in a nonprofit organization, and the security just isn't there. The money definitely isn't there. And with utilities or a city, you're guaranteed a job. You're guaranteed to move up.
So it's a wonderful area for career pursuit.
My future?
I don't know, I could save the world or something.
When I went to college, I studied environmental studies, and I always knew that I wanted to, save the world, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do.
Water is our prime source of life, and we want to make sure we're caring for it and that we use it adequately.
So it's very important that we conserve our resources and protect our environment down here.
What we can do now is set the stage to make sure that as that population grows, that we have the water supplies there to meet that demand. What's going to be critical here in Florida is making sure that we do that in a way that doesn't jeopardize our environmental quality.
A field that helps the environment and there's advancement. This is a good field to get into.
The field of wastewater treatment or reclaimed water is such an incredible field.
Reclaimed water? You mean somebody touched this before me?
The water leaves their house and they have no clues where it's going. There's a collection system in these streets in front of your homes, and the water rolls through the drains to a pump station. That pump station pumps it to a larger booster station. The larger booster stations pump it to this facility here. When we get through treating it, we remove all the solids out of the water and remove all the particles out of the water. The discharge from this plant is about 95% removal. It's crystal clear.
We don't drink it yet. I mean, there's still unknowns as far as certain things we just don't understand about it yet. But as far as irrigation goes, as an example, St. Petersburg, Florida has had an irrigation or reclaim system for 30 years. We've been in the business since 1984. and there's been no adverse effects, only positive effects.
These operator jobs, what kind of jobs are they?
You can be a chemist in certain areas up in Florida City Lab. You can be a pipe fitter, which I am, and you come out and survey and you actually fix a leak, and your hands-on experience. We have operators, mechanics.
You can work for the transmission crew, you can work for the distribution crew, you can work in the office. People move up pretty good here, and you're always getting good raises.
Computer technology to run the plants is extremely vital.
The water treatment plant as an operator, working in the laboratory, working in the field as a meter reader, working as a backflow tester.
The electronics or the instrument industry, they can work into one of the water treatment facilities. They can work into one of our state-of-the-art laboratories.
Wastewater treatment, also with water treatment, solid waste, anything that has to do with environment.
We have electricians and mechanics and lab technicians and engineers, literally the whole gamut of careers that you see in the larger job market we have here in the utility business.
Is this a good job?
Do people like these jobs?
What I like about coming to work every day, I just love my job.
How beautiful, how wonderful it is work in the water department.
I like the relaxed atmosphere.
Well, it's beautiful being outside and outdoors and actually getting paid for it.
I like it all. It's a very good job, good benefits, a lot of good co-worker relationships.
I think it's a wave of the future, so to speak, and anybody that wants to get involved with that, I think is going to have a challenging career.
Go into this business, go into it and enjoy it, and you'll have a great life, a great career.
Okay, so the jobs are out there, but what kind of education do I need before I can start making money?
The prerequisites are not complicated. A student has to finish high school.
A person that just continues their training and education both through the water reclamation vocation as well as their general education could easily find themselves at any level that they choose to be.
This is an industry that does not really require up front a major college degree, although the more schooling you have, obviously, the better off it is.
Like a secret kind of career path. I mean, not a lot of people know about wastewater or water treatment, but it's in high demand.
You can start from a technician, an entry level, get your licenses A, B, and C. You can work various shifts, day shift, evening, or midnight shift. It's very conducive to going to school in your spare time.
In the water utilities, a lot of jobs can be learned by hands-on training.
The FWPCOA made sure that it was possible for us as operators to get the proper training that we need to maintain our education in water treatment.
The water quality is very good throughout the state of Florida, and the reason why it is we have probably the best operators there is.
FWPCOA. What's that? I keep seeing it on everybody's shirt.
We are the Florida Water and Pollution Control Operators Association.
The FWPCOA's mission, as well as the public and private sector's utilities mission, is to provide safe water and protect the public interest in health.
Wherever you do, if it's teaching the classroom or making a presentation in the civic group, people are so pleased that they know that you're involved with making the water quality better in Florida.
The FWPCOA primarily, like I said earlier, has been training.
Training at FWPCOA is just absolutely the greatest thing. This trade organization has done so much for water and wastewater treatment plant operators.
Our partners at FWPCOA are just tremendous, and we couldn't do it without them.
We need to attract young people into this business.
It's easy. Make a phone call, talk to the person on the other line. They're always willing to help.
For more information, just hit our website,
www.fwpcoa.org. If you like helping people and you like saving the environment, come aboard.